right, this is the 108.1 FNFB podcast. This is episode 11, week 11, NFL picks. I'm your host, Darian.
And I'm Mike.
And yeah, we're going to do week 11 today. We're going to talk some football. So, we can start with tonight's game, which is Thursday night game. Green Bay Packers at the Seattle Seahawks, the Fail Mary Redux, I guess you'd call it. Remember that? I'll never forget that game. That was insane. Packers aren't fun to watch, in my opinion. I'm just not a fan. They don't have a great defense, and Aaron Rodgers is kind of running for his life and like trying to will people to catch the ball, even though they don't have a lot of great receivers, and because everyone's hurt. And the Seahawks almost just ran for 300 yards against the Rams on Sunday. I'm going to take Seattle. It's in Seattle. It's not an easy place to play. It's Thursday night. Green Bay is a little banged up, so I'm taking the Seahawks here. What do you think?
I think whoever loses this game is not going to make the playoffs.
Oh, 100%. This is a winner goes. This is a loser goes home game for sure.
On that note, because of that, I'm taking the Packers.
Interesting. So you think that they're just destined for the playoffs, and this because if they are, this is a game they have to win for sure.
I don't know that I would say they're destined for the playoffs, but I think Aaron Rodgers will them to win.
That's fair. I mean, I could see it. I don't know. I just think if Seattle puts together the sort of running their running game the way that they had it on Sunday against the Rams, I just don't think there's any way Green Bay can stop that.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think that if I've got to pick between Aaron Rodgers and Russell Westbrook, Russell Wilson in a must-win game, I'd rather take Aaron Rodgers over Russell Westbrook Wilson.
Oh yeah, shouts to the Thunder. No, I feel you. I don't know, man. I think that's closer than you think it is, though, with Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers. I'm not saying he's but I think Russell Wilson's top 5 quarterback. I just do. So, I don't know. I think that's closer. But hey, we started off not agreeing, and we usually get through like the first 10 without disagreeing. So this is good for us. I think we're going to disagree on this next one, too. So the first Sunday game I've got, 1 o'clock, the Dallas Cowboys, the 4-5 Dallas Cowboys at the 4-5 Atlanta Falcons.
No.
Nope.
Bengals at the Ravens.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong schedule. I'm sorry. That's on me. All right, let's do Cowboys Falcons first anyway because I already mentioned it. So, What do you think? 4-5. It's in Atlanta. What do you think?
I think the Falcons are probably going to beat the Cowboys by a field goal.
Question for you: if it was in Dallas, would your pick be reversed? Because Dallas's defense is pretty good, man. I'm telling you, they can rush the passer. And
I get that, but they don't have Julio Jones and Ridley and.
No, but they got your boy Amari Cooper now, and he actually looks good in Dallas.
Oh, just wait. He'll drop the ball
I believe
at the most inopportune moment.
I believe it. I know.
I think I would take the Falcons whether they were playing in Dallas or Atlanta.
Really?
I think I'd take them. I think I'd take them by a field goal either way. I just think they're 3 points better.
That's totally fair. I could see that. I'm actually gonna go opposite again to start out this podcast. So I'm taking Dallas. I like their pass rush. I like Ezekiel Elliott. Dak Prescott, and that and that offense has been kind of a little better since their first few weeks when they were just anemic on offense. In the words of Stephen A. Smith, they were anemic. But I do think whoever wins this game will win it by 3, like you said. But I just like Dallas' pass rush, and I like Ezekiel Elliott. So I think they have enough to, and not to like crap on the Falcons or anything, because the Browns are frisky, but they did just lose to Cleveland. So I don't know.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
Freddie Get Out of My Kitchens is a really good play caller, though. He did good. So, anyways, so let's go back.
Yes,
to Bengals at Ravens.
Yes, I will use the right schedule. I was using an ESPN one. It's different order. So
I don't have any idea who's going to be playing quarterback for Baltimore.
Oh, I do. It's we're talking about, by the way, we should just say the Cincinnati Bengals at Baltimore Ravens.
I did say that.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you say that. uh,
But no, the reason why I say that is because, for example, it's going to have to be RG3.
It is.
Flacco's probably it's going to have to be because Lamar Jackson's not even practicing today because he's sick.
Oh, see, I didn't know that, but my whole thing is so they don't. I mean, all Lamar Jackson I feel like can do is trick plays because he's only out there for that, and obviously when Flacco's healthy, he doesn't need to be out there for anything else. I get that, but they came into the season saying RG3 was their backup, and they've been saying all week that he's gonna start, he's gonna play. So, or they've been hinting at it, I should say, if Flacco can't go, but it sounds like Flacco's been hurt for a while, and they're basically telling him, look, man, this is something that you need to get right, and the only way you can get it right is by not playing.
Right.
So, but it's going to be tough, man, because this, how you said the Green Bay, the Packers Seahawks game, this is, for AFC, for the wild card, this is a loser goes home match too, I think. Because the Bengals are 5-4, so they've got a little more rope, but Ravens are 4-5, and both these teams are kind of on a decline. So I think this is an AFC wildcard loser goes home match, and I think the other AFC wildcard is probably going to go to one of the AFC South teams. So, but yeah, this, I don't know, man. So who are you taking? I'm taking Cincinnati. Their defense has been giving up like 500 yards a game for like a month or something like that, something crazy like that. But and they don't have AJ Green. Is he gonna play? I don't think he's gonna play still. He's out for a while, right?
I don't know if he's out for like a while, but it says he's unlikely to play.
Right, it's the toe.
He's questionable, and right. And John Ross is questionable, but he's likely to play.
Right, and
they got a lot of Joe Mixon's questionable, his knee's all banged up, but he's likely to play. So they've got a lot of offensive parts and pieces that are unlikely to play against the number 2 ranked defense.
This is true, but I just can't believe that Robert Griffin III is going to beat. I mean, if he was going to, this would be the defense to do it against. You know,
he was lighting it up in preseason.
I know. I don't know, man. I don't know. They don't have Ronnie Stanley. They don't have James Hurst. They don't have Alex Lewis. Like, they're banged up on the offensive line. I think I'm going to take Cincinnati because I think it's actually going to be more of a high-scoring game. It's not super, but, like, I don't know. Who are you taking? I want to know.
Ravens.
Okay. All right. I'm taking Bengals.
I could score on the Bengals.
Yeah, you could. And you're old. No
I'm
offense.
old.
No offense, but I was waiting.
No offense taken.
Well, because I was expecting you to say, and I'm old.
No, get off my lawn.
All right, so yeah, we haven't actually agreed yet, but I think we're about to. So let's move on to the next game. Carolina Panthers at the 6-3 Carolina Panthers, who are coming out that Thursday night.
What in the world are you looking at?
The wrong schedule again. Let me close this page.
That's a good idea.
I'm very sorry.
You're literally. I'm like the Panthers are like 5 games away. Where did he go?
Oh my God. I'm sorry. I swear to God I closed the tab, so it's gone.
Okay, so no, what we're really going to talk about is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the New York, they claim to play football, Giants.
Oh God.
I don't even want to talk about this game.
Okay, then let's just pick it and move on. I'm not even kidding. Who do you got?
Okay. Let me whip out my Magic 8 ball. Tampa Bay.
All right, I'm taking Giants at home. I don't even care. I'm not.
We have yet to pick the same team.
Yeah, which is weird because we pick the same team almost 75% of the time, I feel like.
Yeah, probably more than that even.
Yeah.
But it's a situation where
they're
all 50-50 games so far.
Yeah, well, it definitely is. These are all funky games for sure. Well, it's kind of crazy because aside from the Patriots, pretty much all these trash teams are on byes. So, like, there's a good team or, like, a middling team versus a good team or another middling team this week. So, it's very weird, like you said, 50-50 game week because we got the Bills, Browns, Dolphins, Pats, Jets, and Niners on a bye this week. So, it's not like a lot of games will be like the Saints versus, like, the Browns or anything. Like, it's going to be pretty even games, you know? So, Yeah, so you're taking the Bucks, I'm taking the Giants. It's in New York. If it was in Tampa, I'd take Tampa. I don't care about that game. I promise you, I won't play one person on either team in FanDuel. I won't watch the game. If they put it on Red Zone, I'll close it. I swear to God, I'm not watching 1 minute of the Bucks Giants. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. So let's take an AFC, what was it, divisional or wild card round last year rematch? I think it was
it was divisional.
Yeah, I think it was. So it's the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is where we're going to
Jaguars.
Jaguars. This is where we're probably going to pick the same team because the Jaguars, Jaguars. They're the Blake Bortles team. So I'm not picking them. I was yelling last week about Bortles on this podcast, so I'm just not doing it. Pittsburgh by a lot. Pittsburgh's on a roll. They're killing teams, man. Ben Roethlisberger looks great right now. They don't need Le'Veon Bell. As a side, Pittsburgh's officially come out and said since the deadline passed for him to sign his tender, he's not signing it. They actually took his nameplate off the locker room, and I guess his teammates rummaged through his locker and took all the shoes and all that crap. So, yeah, I don't know. He may not be a Steeler again, but then again, we could be talking in March, and he might have signed a 4-year, $40 million, $50 million deal. We don't know. So we'll see what happens with Lev Bell, but
he's going to the Jets.
Yeah, I mean I don't care. I just think it's the whole story is so weird, but I don't even want to get into that right now. James Conner's really good, and he's actually practiced. He practiced today fully, so he's on track to play because he was in concussion protocol.
Yep.
But he did fully practice, so the signs are looking up for James Conner to play. So, yeah, I'm taking Steelers by a lot because the Jags defense has not played that well in several weeks, and I think it's the same issue that the Broncos have had for a couple years now, where they can kind of sense there's no hope on the offensive side, so they kind of lose a little bit of their mojo. That's what I honestly think it is, because the Broncos seriously. I mean, they didn't lose anyone super important for most of the time last year in Denver on defense, and they could see there's only so much we can do. We helped Peyton Manning with a noodle arm win a Super Bowl. We can't help Brock Osweiler or whoever the hell was back there, Trevor Siemian, win one. It's just not going to happen. Same with Blake Bortles. He's not the guy.
Watching him come out and throw 450 yards and 5 touchdowns. I'm going to die because I got the Steelers by 17.
Yeah, I have them by probably more than that. They're gonna beat Jacksonville's ass.
Texans at Redskins, a game I don't want to talk about.
Really?
No.
Why?
I hate both those teams.
They're
just the most uninteresting thing to watch unless you're throwing it to D-Hop. Throwing it to D-Hop, I'll watch it, but problem is they only do it 3 times a game for 165 yards. Everything else is just boring. And I don't like the Redskins. I've never liked the Redskins.
I never liked the Redskins either, and their offense is.
I think their jerseys they're just so damn ugly. It hurts for me to watch them.
Yeah.
Like when the Buccaneers used to be the orange crushsicle uniforms, just it hurts my eyes to watch.
You know what's funny? I'm not even kidding. I feel that way about the Eagles. I think that green is disgusting. I hate it.
You just hate it because they whooped your ass last year.
Okay. First of all, he threw for 500 yards, okay?
No, I know.
No, I'm just kidding. But, no, I've always hated the Eagles green. I really have. Plus, I think their old school green, like the Raiden Cunningham green, I think that is dope. And I wish
that was a cool green. I like that.
I wish they'd go back to that. Anyways,
let's get back on topic here.
Let's focus.
No, we can talk about this game. I was just messing with you.
Redskins offense is trash. They can't score. So here's the Redskins problem. They've had to win games 21-17 type stuff because they can't score more than 21 points. So if you can't hold a defense to 17 points, they're not going to win because they can't score because Alex Smith, he doesn't look that good anymore. I don't know what it is.
See, they remind me of. Well, I can tell you what it is. Andy Reid's not there.
That checks out.
So people. I'm not implying you, but people vastly underrate Andy Reid's offensive scheming ability. The thing that Andy Reid doesn't have is common sense sometimes.
No, I don't think they do. I think they just expect him to screw up time management always, and he does.
And he does. But anyway, so no, I would like to point out a very different yet similar. I don't even know how to say it. But the Washington Redskins are the 2016 Raiders, but different. So the Raiders couldn't stop anybody, but they'd always come down and win by like 3 points or 2 points. And they were 8-1 in one score games.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like ridiculous. And everybody, all the Raider fans are like, oh my God, 2017, we're going to tear it all up. Well, no, dude, because normally in one score games, it's usually about a 50-50 proposition. They should have been like a 9-7 team, not a 12-4 team.
Right.
But they kept winning. So the Redskins, on the other hand, are 6-3, and they can't score to save their damn lives, but they seem to just pull out those one-score games all the time.
Yeah, it's because they have a pretty decent defense, honestly.
Yeah,
nothing special, but it's serviceable.
9-4. So what does this record project to be? 18, 12, 12-4. No, that's not right. 11-5. 10-6. I don't know. Anyways,
math is hard.
Math is not good. So yeah, so that's the thing. They're just like the Raiders in 2016. They keep winning these tight games, and do they continue to do that? I don't know. If they don't, they're going to end up 8-8, 7-9, and go nowhere. Texans.
On the flip side, I wanted to say real quick. On the flip side, Texans have won 6 in a row. Isn't that crazy? They were 0-3 and they went 6 in a row so far.
Yeah.
That's insane to me. I'm taking Houston. They're going to continue winning.
That would not surprise me. I'm also taking the Texans. You talked me into it.
Yeah, because it's not even that, I know it's not that much to talk you into because it's Washington.
Well, they're both. Well, no, I know, but they're both 6-3.
Yeah, they
are.
It's
not like.
And I think they deserve. No, I totally agree with you. I think both those teams actually deserve those records. The whole thing is, who do I trust to score more points? Houston, because Deshaun Watson can do some stuff, and they've got Lamar Miller, who's serviceable, and they've got
and it's going to be who holds up, right?
Right.
It's going to be who's the person that's going to hold up for the rest of the, or not the person, the team for the rest of the year. And if sitting here looking at what's happened so far, and you asked me to project who I think would have a better record at the end of the year, it'd be the Texans. I just don't think the Redskins can continue to eke by without getting jacked.
Plus, I agree with you completely, and we should remember, because I was actually talking crap in a Reddit NFL thread on Sunday to an Eagles fan, and we should remember one thing about the Redskins.
Is this the guy that doesn't know the rules?
Yes, and I don't remember his name, but I would call him out if no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, we got into into a defensive pass interference / defensive holding argument, whatever. But the whole point is, we should remember that the Redskins haven't played the Eagles at all yet, and so we'll see, because those are 2 games, and if
the Eagles,
and if the Eagles get their stuff together ever, even though they're going to be 4-6 after this coming week because they're going to lose to the Saints, but we'll get to that soon. What's it called? They could beat Washington twice. That's theoretically possible, and then Washington 6-5. That's so. I mean, there's a path to Washington being like 8-8. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying. I can. I don't trust them.
But here's the thing. Let me just break down real quick to you the Texans' rest of their schedule. They got Redskins, then they got the Titans at home on Monday Night Football, then they have the Browns at home, the Colts at home. They go at New York Jets, at Philly, and then they got the Jags at home. So there's a path to there's honestly a path right there that the Texans are 13-3, and I'm not even kidding. Will they go 13-3? I would be shocked. But there is a path, because all of those games are easily winnable. Now, can they continue this path for 7 whatever more weeks? I don't know. That's tough to do for a juggernaut. I don't expect the Chiefs to keep winning every single game, But I'm just saying, I think Houston's pretty good. I really do. And their offensive line was just terrible in the beginning of the year, and I haven't seen a Texans game in a while. But it couldn't be that bad, because the Patriots were destroying Deshaun Watson in the backfield and just hitting him every play week 1. And I feel like that's not happening anymore, because, they're 6-3. How he can't be getting his ass beat too bad if they keep winning, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So, I'm taking Houston. You taking Houston as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so is that the first? Oh, no, the Steelers is the first one we agree on. All right, so what do you have next?
The Tennessee Titans at the Indianapolis Colts.
Ah, yes. The Titans who beat the
I'm telling
crap.
you. But I'm telling you. I'm sitting here looking at the league rankings, and the Titans are 30th in offense, 30th in passing, 15th in rushing.
Look at
But
what
that was all without Mariota.
Right.
Or with Mariota halfway elbowy goodness going on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So they played Dallas, put up 28 on Dallas, put up 34 on the Patriots.
Only held the Patriots to 10 points, which is important too. The
Yeah.
Patriots who were scoring about 35 points a game for like 6 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I'm I'm taking the Titans.
I'm taking the Colts because that offense has looked very dangerous in recent weeks, and it's in Indianapolis. And Andrew Luck, the shoulder don't hurt no more, buddy. It looks good. So I'm taking the Colts, but it's going to be a close game, and this might determine a wild card that sixth AFC wild card spot I was talking about earlier. This could be a winner goes home game for these guys because there's just not enough wins to go around, and I do think there will be. Obviously there's going to be two AFC North team or AFC West teams because the Chiefs and Chargers both are likely to make the playoffs, at least as it currently stands. And and I think that I expect another because I'm not sure the Bengals or the Ravens are going to make the playoffs, honestly. And this is a game the Colts and the Titans both need, man, especially if they want to make that wild card. Well,
I'm telling you right now. If the Texans go, or the Texans, if the Texans go to Washington and they lose that game, and Tennessee goes to Indy and wins this game, Tennessee and the Texans are tied for first in the AFC South.
Right.
And then they got to play November 26th. They're going to play, and Tennessee already beat Houston earlier this year.
Right. And Houston actually should have. Was that the game Houston should have won and they went for it and they didn't get it, right?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think Houston went for it. No, I'm thinking of the Colts. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. But no, absolutely. And the Titans have been dangerous, man. Like they're, especially at home, those guys are hard to beat. Like I watched that New England game last week, and New England from the very kickoff got their ass beat all 60 minutes, up and down the field on offense, defense, and special teams. They outplayed them in every phase of the game. So if they can replicate that for the rest of the year, they'll be in really good shape. So, but I actually can't wait for that Tennessee Texans game. That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be a good one. I'm actually gonna really watch that one because these teams are actually kind of interesting to me. So,
yep.
But you're taking Tennessee? Did you say?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I'm taking the Colts because it's in Indianapolis because I like their offense. But if it was in Tennessee, I would absolutely pick Tennessee. But it's a pick 'em.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying it's going to be a really close game. So, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, and now for the game that you tried to do 45 minutes ago, the Panthers at the Lions.
Yes.
Panthers by 17.
I think the Panthers get. I just closed something important. No, I didn't. We're good. Never mind. Panthers by a lot. They're going to get right after getting shellacked by the Steelers last Thursday night. I honestly just think the Steelers are really, really, really good right now, and I think the Panthers ran into a buzzsaw that they just weren't expecting. That's what I really chalk it up to because the Panthers are 6-3.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think they're a real 6-3 team. I think they're very good. So I think they have a shot at the NFC wild card too. Obviously, they're probably not going to upend the Saints because Drew Brees is playing out of his mind this year, and he's probably the MVP as far as I'm concerned as of right now. That's debatable. You could talk about Patrick Mahomes, you can talk about other guys, but no, the Panthers I think they're the real deal, and I think they're going to handle on the road. And I like Cam Newton indoors, and it's in Detroit, so he ain't have to worry about that much. So I like the Panthers here by 10 maybe.
Yeah, I got him by 17. Lions, nah.
Yeah,
Broncos at Chargers.
Lions, same. Matt Patricia, yeah. Plus, they gave up on their season. I feel like, I'm sorry, one more thing. I feel like you making a trade like, I get Kenny Galladay, the rookie's like balling out, but I do feel like a trade like trading away Golden Tate is kind of giving up on your season. I feel like that's a little red flag to say, yeah, this ain't the year we're gonna try to win a lot of games. You know what I mean?
Well, by that point they hadn't been, so
exactly, and that's my whole point. They're 3-6, I think. So
They are.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure they're kind of giving up. I think on this year, which is probably wise. Because they're not where they need to be. No offense, Detroit Lions fans. I'm sorry. My friend Keith out there, huge Lions fan, always bitching about them on Facebook every Sunday, or he's happy when they win, and it's like, this ain't it, Chief. This ain't it.
Nope. Broncos at Chargers.
Chargers by what? 20? No,
24.
Yeah, something. Yeah. Well, yeah, I think so, because even in the first half last week when they played the Raiders, the first half was kind of close, and then they just pulled away in the second half. They're like, wait a minute, this team sucks and we don't. Let's just kick their ass. And that's what they did. And that's what's going to happen against Denver in LA. So,
yeah.
That's all I got to say about that game. And it's going to be quick. So,
yep. Toodaloo.
Yeah. We're blowing through these, honestly.
Well, some of them are just too easy.
Yeah, like
too easy or too uninteresting.
Like this next one. It's Oakland Raiders at the Arizona Cardinals. I'm taking the Cardinals by 10.
Whoops. I got the Raiders, because if I pick them, they'll lose.
But you actually think Cardinals are going to win, right? Or who do you... you can pick the Raiders, but who do you actually... I'm curious. I genuinely am.
Because... I really don't know the answer to that question. It depends on if they continue to give David Johnson the ball. If they continue to give David Johnson the ball, then the Cardinals should win fairly easily ish.
That's what I think. They gave
but I can see a scenario. Don't get me wrong. I can see a scenario where. So Jordy Nelson's got a knee issue, right? So he may or may not play. I'm not sure what his status is, if he's going to play or not. But there's a dude, Marcel Aitman. He's a big dude. Like, he is Mr. Big, Tall, Red Zone, basketball rebounding, give me the ball threat, which they don't have any other person that does that. Jared Cook is not a, go up and fight for the ball kind of guy. He's a run around the field kind of guy. And then we got Saad Blacknall, who's another guy that is a rookie wide receiver. So who he was blowing up in preseason. Everybody's like, oh my God, cut Seth Roberts and make him our number 3. So there's all kinds of new guys that are going to be playing Friday. They're going to be playing Sunday. So it would not be out of the realm of possibilities, because both these teams suck, that the Raiders win.
Right.
I mean, it isn't like they're going to play the Chargers or going to play the Saints or something like that. They're playing the freaking Cardinals. So I'm thinking the Cardinals have woken up and are going to give David Johnson the ball, and if they continue to do that, they should run right over the Raiders.
Yeah, I agree. It's Byron Leftwich, right? Calling the plays right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's shown to be riding David Johnson like I was screaming about for the first 7 or whatever the hell it was weeks of the season. Give David Johnson the ball.
That cost me 6 games in fantasy in one of my fantasy leagues, buddy.
Yeah, I traded him away. Some crazy person, I don't even know. I know no one cares about our fantasy team. Some crazy butthead, I'm going to be nice, in my league that I'm in, offered me Julio Jones for David Johnson like 5 weeks ago. I was like, yeah, I'll take that.
Sure.
Absolutely, I'll take that. And I'll never look back. And I'm 7-3 or 7-2, whatever. I'm on a 5-game win streak, so that's
dude, so in my big money league, I keep getting knocked off by, well, I mean, I'm in 3rd place out of 12 guys, so I'm not doing bad. But when I lose, I lost because the fool I played this last week had Eric Ebron.
Yeah, I played it.
Like, I get the game of the year from every game that I've played. It's been the game of the year for that particular guy's, somebody on that dude's team. Eric Ebron put up 36 freaking points on me.
Yeah,
and he's averaging like 8, and he beat me by 4. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
No, well, Eric Ebron. Well, here's the thing too. So I totally feel you. By the way, I'm 8-2 in fantasy. Shout out to me. Shout out to Bad Juju. It's my team name. What's up? All right. Anyway, I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, I played Eric Ebron at FanDuel this past Sunday, and he's the reason I won. He had like 37 points because he had I think like the first or second play the Colts had on offense was a 53-yard touchdown to him, and then later on he actually caught another one, and he also ran one in, which is kind of weird, but.
Yeah, 3 touchdowns, and he had like over 100 yards total. And then there was one other dude that so everybody in the world. So you saw my FanDuel lineup, right?
I don't remember it, but I did see it. If that counts.
Yeah, well, I don't remember it either, but it was like Tyreek Hill. It had a whole bunch of, and our friend Derek was like, "Hey, how did you manage to get all those people within the salary cap?" And I'm like, "I even got $100 left over." And I'm like, "There's no way I'm going to lose." I finished like 36,000th because every single person who picked Eric Ebron, and there was one other guy who blew up over the weekend.
Was it Nick
I don't remember
Chubb?
who, huh?
Probably Nick Chubb.
Oh, probably Nick Chubb. Yeah, so I don't remember. I think it was a wide receiver. But anyways, there was 2 players that both put up 30 plus points, and every single person who picked both of those guys, no matter who else they picked, they beat everybody.
Yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, awesome. Anyways, enough fantasy, enough of that crap. We got 3 games to go, and I'm actually interested in talking about none of them. Just kidding. Okay, so
Actually,
the first...
These are the best 3 of the week.
I disagree with that.
Of the week? Oh, well, no. What's better than... What? I'm confused, genuinely. No, well, maybe it's Colts. Titans is better than these next 2. I don't know. Let's go. Eagles at Saints. This game will be fun to watch because I will love watching Philly get their ass whooped. Saints by a lot.
Saints by 30.
Yep, Saints by a lot. All right, maybe that game wasn't going to be that fun. I was wrong. Next one. Sunday Night Football. Did you have anything else to say about that game, by the way, or no?
No. That's why I was saying it's no. I'm good. Saints are going to smoke them.
By the way, I want to say one thing. It's week 11 right now, and I know it's early. If I had to pick a team right now that I set, and like if my life depended on it, and I had to pin my life hope on a team to win the Super Bowl this year, I would be picking New Orleans. I'd
be picking the Rams.
Really?
But if my life didn't depend on it, yeah, because the Saints have a history. The Saints have a history of showing up and crushing everybody, and then getting to the playoffs and getting crushed.
That's fair, but this time they're going to be at home the whole time.
Well, maybe not.
They had the tiebreaker over the Rams.
If the Saints don't lose another game.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know, man. Let me look real quick because we could talk about this game a little bit. So they play the Falcons in New Orleans on Thanksgiving night, which is going to be an awesome game, and they'll probably win that. They do have to go to Dallas next Thursday. That could be a little tricky. They have to go to Tampa Bay. They have to go to Carolina. They do have to play Pittsburgh in New Orleans, but that's doable. That's going to be an awesome game, too. That's 2 days before Christmas. I can't wait for that game. And then they get Carolina at home. So, I mean, yeah, but here's the thing. All the tough games, except for, I guess, in theory, Dallas, sort of, but they still get a week. Even though it's on Thursday, they play the Thursday before. So they still have a whole week. It's not going to be a short week for them.
Well, I'm just saying they don't have any cakewalk games. Philly could very easily just wake up and beat them.
No, and that's fair, but I just don't. It would be totally out of the blue if they did. They do.
I don't expect it, but I mean, Philly has the. It's not like, I mean, I hate to keep beating on them, but it's not like the Raiders are showing up or the Cardinals or the Giants. I mean, Philly is a legitimate team. They just haven't been able to put it together for some reason. Week to week, something stupid keeps happening,
I'm just not sure they are a legitimate team this year. That's my thing. I'm not sure they are. Like you say they are, and that's fine to say it because they won a Super Bowl.
But I mean, personnel-wise and everything else, there's just something. Every game, there's just been something,
Yeah, and that's usually the mark of a not great team.
Okay.
No, I'm serious. Like, I don't know. But one thing, okay, I get what you're saying, though, but let me say this about the Saints real quick, okay? I'm being serious real quick. I don't know what week it was. 10, 9, 8, 7. I think it was week 7. I'm going backwards and math's hard for me. They went up to Baltimore with a really good defense. Flacco was actually playing, whatever. Eked that game out. They won 24-23. That's the kind of game, Drew Brees outside, where they don't win unless they're actually good. You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of game the Saints blow. They really do. They would blow that game. Last week, they went to Cincinnati, and yeah, their Cincinnati's defense is trash, and yeah, they put up 51 on them, but they went into Cincinnati. It's cold. Shellacked them, dude. They waxed those fools. I'm telling you, there's something different about this team. They dominated the Rams, and the Rams finally, in garbage time, started to get more into it, but they cleaned the Rams' clocks. They beat the Vikings. They don't have, like, games where they didn't beat people's asses, dude. I'm telling you, they lost.
So right, okay. So let's visit. Like I was talking about, let's visit Philly's season so far, right?
Right. Okay. Fair.
Opening week, Opening week, they beat Atlanta.
Right.
That's with all Atlanta's healthy people and everything else. They beat Atlanta. Next week, they're running into Fitzmagic. 402 passing yards and
right. Saints
yada,
had that
yada,
week 1 too, so they both actually had that, which is kind of crazy.
Right. So then they played Colts. They beat the Colts.
They should have lost that game, though. I do want to say they really should have lost that game.
You can say you should have lost the game all you want. They won.
I get that.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
I know.
Right? Using index cards to mark first downs, Gene's territory. It doesn't matter. The final score was Philly 20, Indy 16. They won. Go to Tennessee, and they only lose by 3. Right? Tennessee, we've already talked about, good team. So they only lose by 3.
Right.
They play Minnesota. They only lose by 2 to Minnesota.
Right.
They go play the Giants. They destroy the Giants.
Yeah.
They play Carolina. Carolina's a really good team. They only lose by 4. And that's a sketchy little game itself. And then they play Jacksonville, and we all know Jacksonville's not great to beat Jacksonville. Then they had a little issue with Zeke Elliott this past week.
So
here's really that's it. I mean, it's not like they're destroying the teams they should destroy, beating the teams they should beat, but they're losing to other teams that are good, barely. So it's not like they're just not showing up. There's been a play or two every single game where something happens. I mean, the leading rusher when they played Carolina and lost to Carolina, the leading rusher was Cam Newton, 50 yards.
I get that. And everything
so
you're
I'm just saying they don't suck.
And no, I'm not saying they suck. I'm just not
sure
they're a great team.
I'm not saying you are saying that. I'm just saying that the Eagles beating anybody on any particular day would not shock me.
But they're not going to okay. I completely agree with what you just said. The only thing is I just don't see a way, because here's the thing, to beat how I feel personally right now this week, to beat New Orleans, to beat Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara and Drew Brees, you've got to be perfect. Can they be perfect? Because they haven't been all year. They've been good at times. They've been bad at times. They've been high. They've been low, whatever. But they haven't been perfect. And that's what I think it takes to beat this team right now. And they're not going to do it in New Orleans on Sunday. That's all I'm saying. I got
the Saints by 17, but I'm just saying. You know, the Eagles' record is 4-5.
And we had a 20-minute conversation about the friggin' okay.
Yeah, we were already past this game. We were ready to talk about the next game. I already got the picks logged and everything. You wanted to go back and talk about, if you had your life depended on it. I'm like, well, I'd take the Rams because, But anyways, let's move along to the Minnesota Frozen Vikings to the Chicago 46 defense Bears.
This game's weird, man. It's in Chicago. It's Sunday Night Football, so something weird is going to happen. Are we going to see...
Cold as balls, too, I might add.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It will be. You know what? It's kind of funny. I actually had a pick for this game, and I'm changing it right now before I even tell you. I'm taking Chicago. I was going to take Minnesota, but, Trubisky's been kind of frisky offensively this season. He hasn't been great. He's been throwing it away a lot. He's been throwing it errantly a little bit. But apparently, a lot of these balls, I didn't know this. Apparently, Matt Nagy, however you say it, told Trubisky, if it's not there, dude, throw it away. I don't even want you to try anything else anymore. If you can run, you can run, because, he can. But if it's not there and you don't want to run or you can't, whatever, get rid of the ball. No negative plays as much as possible. No forcing it in, none of that stuff. And that's why he looks sometimes like he's really missing throws, apparently. And sometimes I'm sure he's just really missing throws. But no, I don't know. There's a big, I didn't know this, there's a big section of Twitter that's like a Trubisky apologists. Or like maybe not apologists, but like Trubisky is really good. Trubiskyans. Trubiskalogans or something.
I picked the Vikings.
Yeah, I was going to, but then I remembered how cold as hell it's going to be in Chicago.
They're from Minnesota. It's just as cold in Minnesota.
They play indoors in Minnesota.
Huh?
They play indoors.
Not for the last 30 years. I mean, they practice outside. They're from Minnesota. They live in the snow.
They're not from Minnesota. They're all from Texas and California and Florida.
They're like Canucks.
Oh, my God. They're not Canucks.
They're like Canadians, eh? Don't you know?
Oh, my God. I bet you there's not one person on that roster from Minnesota. Anyway, Bears by 4.
Challenge accepted.
You going to look at the roster real quick?
Bears by 4. Well, I am while we're talking.
Yeah.
So now we're going to go to the 9-1 Chiefs, 9-1 Rams, and they're actually going to be, instead of at Mexico City, land of the mud pit, they're going to be in LA, land of the smoke. So
yeah,
so the game is not going to be in Mexico City. The NFL finally pulled its head out of its ass and decided that rather than I don't. Never mind. I don't even want to go there. I don't get how they've known about this. They've known about the field and the condition of the field since the 15th of October. They could have told everybody, hey, we're not playing the game there. Try to get your flight money back. Try to do whatever you can because we're not playing in freaking Mexico. But no, they wait till 5 days before the game and go like, oh, sorry, we're not playing there. Everybody knew they weren't playing there.
Yeah, thanks, Roger Goodell. I'm not going to get my frequent flyer miles back. Hey, quick question. Didn't they have an issue with the field last year in Mexico City, but they still ended up playing the game, but it was in doubt? Wasn't it last year too?
No, it was
the
they were
Patriots,
supposed to
right?
No, it was no. Yeah, but no, it wasn't the field. It was they were supposed to play at a different stadium.
And what happened? What? Because I remember there was an issue last year.
Oh no! I'm wrong. That was the game this year in the new Tottenham Spurs stadium.
Yeah,
they were supposed to play.
There was something with the field last year.
Patriots,
Raiders were.
Yeah, they had a Shakira concert in September.
Right.
A Shakira concert in September, and they couldn't fix the field in 2 months.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I don't know, man. Whatever. But it's, you know what? I like it better this way, and I'll tell you why. It's supposed to be a Rams home game. They actually get a Rams home game. You know, especially for a game like this, I don't want a neutral field. I mean, I get everyone was like, "Oh, Super Bowl matchup, neutral field." No, I want screaming. Well, no one in LA really cares, but I want the people that do care that are like, "Hey, the Rams are back," screaming at the Chiefs, and I want to see what the Chiefs do in this situation with Todd Gurley running them over their ass and Robert Woods because Cooper Kupp's out. And Robert Woods is having an awesome year, by the way. Shout out to Robert Woods. He's actually seriously having a very good year. Catching these dope-ass passes from Jared Goff and Brandon Cooks running all over these fools. I want to see what the Chiefs do, but I'm picking the Chiefs anyway. I do think they'll show up. I think if the Chiefs team that we've seen so far this year is the real deal, they're going to go on the road to LA, and they're going to whoop the Rams' ass. And not by a lot, but by like maybe 7 or 10, just how the Saints-Rams game was. Like 45-35. I wouldn't even be surprised if that was the same score. I think the Chiefs are the real deal. I'm trusting them. If they're not, they won't show up on Monday Night Football. But if they are, I think they will. And I believe that they will. So I'm taking Kansas City. I'm taking Patrick Mahomes. I'm trusting him. This is where he can make himself, I think, the lasting in everyone's minds and all the voters, MVP voters' minds. I'm the MVP this year. Forget about Drew Brees. I know he beat the Rams, but look at what I did to these fools, and he's gonna smoke them. I think he will. I think he's gonna have the game of his life, and he's already had, you can say, 10 of those already because he's balling out this year. But yeah, I'm taking Chiefs.
You know who Marcus Sherrills is?
Yes.
Yeah, he was born and raised in Minnesota, went to the University of Minnesota, and he plays for Minnesota. and I got the Rams by 10.
Oh man, that was funny as hell. Holy crap, that was really funny.
And that was just a cursory glance. That's not including the guys that are from North Dakota, South Dakota, and all the other frozen ass tundra states up there too.
That was funny as shit. I'm sorry, I had to say it. That was funny. Oh my god.
You're welcome.
So you said Rams by 10? Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Any reason
so
why?
Here's the reason why. Rams number 2 offense, Chiefs number 3 offense. Which technically it's number 1 and number 2 because the Tampa Bay isn't really the number 1 offense anymore. They're just still there because they scored so many points the first month of the season.
That's funny. That's funny that they're still there though. That's how good
they're still there
for like 4
So
weeks.
then rushing, the Rams are 2nd in rushing. The Chiefs are 13th in rushing. Passing, the Rams are 5th in passing. The Chiefs are 4th in passing. But defense, the Chiefs are 29th, and the Rams are 13th.
Right, and that's fair.
Chiefs can't stop anybody.
I agree. I do.
They just win because they put up 45 points.
Right, and they can do it so fast that your head's spinning too. That's the other thing.
But they haven't played the Rams defense. They haven't really played. Have the Chiefs played a good defense yet this year? Let us ponder a gander, shall we?
They played the okay Chargers defense, but it was kind of hurt when they were playing it anyway.
they don't even have Bosa.
No, yeah, exactly. The Denver
Chargers
defense,
no, Pittsburgh no, San Francisco no, Denver no,
Jacksonville, but it doesn't count because that game, the Jacksonville was in the hole so much because Bortles had like 5 turnovers. So that game doesn't really count as playing a good defense because they never actually had to compete with them because
they haven't played a good defense yet.
Right, they're about to though. So the Rams Monday night, then a couple weeks ago they do play.
And they get to play Baltimore in a couple weeks.
They get to play the Chargers. Chargers on a Sunday night. On a Sunday night in December, they do get to go to Seattle to play. That will be a game. That'll be fun.
Well, they get 2 gimmies because they get to play Oakland on the 2nd and the 30th. So that's 2 games they're going to win right there.
Yeah, and they're probably going to beat the Chargers and Ravens too, if we had to guess, because those are both in Kansas City as well. But yeah, man, I don't know. Interesting for sure. That's going to be. I honestly cannot wait for that game. I can't wait. That's gonna be so much fun. I just hope it lives up to what we think it will be. You know.
Yep.
So, all right, I think that's it for episode 11. The 108.1 FNFB podcast. I'm Darian. That's Mike.
Toodaloo.
See you guys.